Hi, I'm Emilia, my pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about living independently in your first year at university. I know that can seem like a really daunting thought at first, but I promise you it does get easier. A tip that I wanted to share with you, something I did before I came to university, was make a list of all of the things that you find comforting. On my list, I had things like watching the US Office, or listening to a podcast I like, reading a book, listening to my favourite song, things that I just found really comforting and that reminded me of home and safety. I found that to be really beneficial when in a new place. Sometimes it can be a bit daunting, but having those comforting things was a big help. I think it's so important to say during Freshers Week that there is no expectation for you to be out clubbing every night. I did go with the expectation of, yes, I'll want to be out every night, I'll want to be in the clubs. But when I personally got to uni, I found the premise of snuggling up in bed with a nice book and a hot chocolate was a lot more inviting than going out and clubbing. Equally, there are people that did go out clubbing and I know absolutely loved it and have made friends that they are still in contact with to this day, so there's definitely options. So there are going to be things that you maybe haven't ever done before by yourself. These could include things like doing your laundry or doing an independent food shop for the week. In my experience, I found doing these things with a friend made the whole situation a lot easier. If you can find someone that you're comfortable doing your food shop with or going and doing the laundry together, it just makes the whole experience a lot more enjoyable and it's nice working things out together. I also found making a meal plan that you don't have to stick to indefinitely. It's just a nice way to figure out what you're going to need for the week. I also wanted to stress that it's absolutely fine to call your family, friends. I must have called my mum every night for a week in Freshers Week just because I needed that sort of comfort. And it feels like you're the only one in that situation. You feel like you're the only one getting homesick, but I promise you, loads and loads of other people are feeling the exact same way and it does pass. Also, it's really good to remember you're not the first one that's had to go through this. Your parents very well might have gone to university, so they'll know how it was to move out and live independently for the first time. You might have friends who are second, third, fourth year students who have also done the same thing, and it's really good to get in contact with them and just ask them any questions you need to know, pick their brains. I'd say when it comes to homesickness, my original plan was go home after 2 weeks. The second weekend, I was going to book my train and go home. However, after the 2 weeks, I thought, do you know what? I'm okay. I'm enjoying this. I can stay for another week. I know people that went home on the first weekend. I know people who stayed until Christmas. So it really just depends on where you are, and it's okay. You don't have to stick to what everybody else is doing. Listen to yourself. I can honestly say, hand on my heart, that although it was really daunting in the beginning and it was a bit scary and a bit overwhelming, I absolutely love living by myself now. The idea that I can cook my own food, come and go as I please, being in charge of your own timetable is really exhilarating, and it's just really nice to know that you can do it. Although living away from home for the first time independently can be really daunting and difficult, I promise you it gets easier with time and is ultimately such a good experience. I really hope you've been able to take something away from this video, and I'm wishing you the best of luck for starting your first year.